Kerry Visca, the founding publisher of Defyeneurs, and welcome to the Difference Makers issue. We are live with Chiara-Megna of St. Catharines, the founder and VP of Bayshore Groups. This is one interview that I've been so excited about conducting. Welcome, Chiara.
Thank you very much, Gary.
Chiara, you're doing some beautiful things really overall for society, for your local community, and it's very inspiring to see you. And just want to start off with listeners, what led you personally, what led you to want to make a difference?
Well, Bayshore Groups has been a family-found business over the last 40 years. I am not only a vice president of the company and assisted in establishing who we are today, but I'm a mother of 6, happily married at times, as we all know how difficult that could be, juggling your personal as well as your business life in one umbrella. But the difference really comes from what are we going to leave behind for our children. So I've, as I said, 3 boys, 3 girls. The difference at this point in my life has been generated from having such an inspiring mentor who I would like to attribute to whom is my father, who is actually the existing founder approximately 40 years ago here, who had a very difficult struggle going through the communist regime and coming to a country as wonderful as Canada and having an opportunity to explore and develop a family. And this is a way for me at this point to give back to him for my gratitude and difference making he's made in my life, and for me to pass this on to my children.
I love that. I love, Chiara, I love that you focus on legacy, and I love that you share, that you're creating this beautiful legacy to leave behind. 6 children, I just think that's fantastic, and I love the way you speak about your father. Chiara, how are you using your life now? How are you using your life now to make a difference in the world?
Again, I think I have to constantly go back to who we are as a family, and a lot of it, 90% of what we do on a daily basis comes from the energy of our business. As you know, as an owner and as a founder of a business, you really don't get away from your business, so it really becomes who you are as a person. So therefore, my life is at a stage where I just turned 40. I put goals, and I set out goals for myself that I can achieve and attain as a young woman in the society, and using that, being able to use that card as being a younger entrepreneur woman in society. I try to go in front of the youth and do a lot of charity work. So we have a huge charity foundation here with our work, as well as on a personal level. We mentor a lot of children. We have boxing associations that we are very close with, that we remove children off the streets and find them an academic and or an athletic vision for them to know that your life is not to be wasted. So, my impact really is on a very small scale. When I say it's small scale, but really it's not. We are involved with probably a good 10 to 20 large charity organizations within St. Catharines and around the world. To give you an example, we've done jobs in the Philippines, where countries and little cities in the Philippines do not have the internet, and we've been bringing in the internet to communities like that. They don't have first aid. We bring in first aid to communities like that as well. So from magnitudes of high glorified boxing events in downtown Toronto, which we just had a wonderful turnout for Fight for Youth, to raising over hundreds of thousands of dollars, to contributing that all the way down to contributing $500 to a local hockey team that is here in St. Catharines, which we call our little Bayshore Junior Tykes. That's, to me, the magnitude. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. It's the impact on the children. and the
Oh,
community.
It's amazing. You're such an inspiration, Chiara. I mean, I was already inspired by you, but just listening to you and, sharing the energy of how you're inspiring the next generation, I think that's fantastic. And I would have loved to have seen you in the boxing ring. That would have been quite an amazing sight. I just want to stay on.
See it.
Yeah, I have to check that out, and I want to stay on this. You truly are an inspiration to the next generation, and the fact that you're only 40 and you're reaching out and working with so many extraordinary local groups. How are you reaching out to inspire others around you? Because you are a very inspiring young professional.
I think it's a little bit of an open-ended question for me because it's pretty vast. 90% of my employees here also at my work are women of my age, so we do a lot of team building at work. I try to inspire them that health is very important. Without your health, your brain doesn't function properly. So I do a lot of team building, and with my love for boxing, I have our own private boxing gym as well as just a gym itself within our company on our second floor. And every Wednesdays, we all partake as a team to go up there and mentor each other physically, speak to each other about our emotions, about what we didn't like about each other the week before. So I believe that the impact needs to start within your immediate surrounding before you can be a positive inspiration for others externally. So we have a very positive environment at work, which I believe will kind of bleeds into other people that come around me, whether it's large corporations I'm sitting with at a boardroom table to, again, charity foundations. They feel the energy of our team as well as myself, and I really believe that making this difference isn't only me making the difference, it's everybody around me that helps me make the difference. So on a business level, it's that side. On a personal level, you have to always remember where you came from. So for me, reaching out to children as well as my own children, I'm a grandmother as well, to my grandchildren, it's about being polite, being kind to others, and always remembering where you came from. None of us were born with a silver spoon in our mouth, so therefore you have to work hard at it. And when you achieve certain levels and certain goals in your life, you need to make sure that you allow people to know that you worked hard to attain that, and with that attainability, now you're going to make a difference on and impacts onto others.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I love how you're cultivating this inspiring culture. I call it a culture of initiation and also a culture of inspiration where you're really focusing on team building and the personal health of yourself and your team. And I find you one of the most grounded leaders that I've interviewed, and I find that extremely inspiring. Chiara, why does the world need everyday difference makers now more than ever?
I think it's mainly because we're becoming a multicultural world. I know Canada is one of the known multicultural countries in the world, but Bayshore groups as well as Chiara-Megna has lived in an access of 10 to 12 countries around the world where we've brought our business, we've brought our family, we've become cultured. And society's changing and the world is changing. Speaking on the level on the business aspect, when as a young girl I used to sit on my father's lap and go and sit in his meetings and be part of his world on an international level, to being a woman now of 40 and seeing those same international individuals and companies running, things change, life change. There's differences that are happening, whether it's in our control or not, and we have to adapt accordingly. So I believe that we are individual countries, but we really need to bring the aspiring people around the world together to teach one another that that we all need to make a difference together. I don't believe that making a difference is individualized. I think it's a community, collective, within the family, within your business, within your culture, within your country, and just, I mean, I have a team of four different countries out in the world, and when we get together, it's not the European division, the Asian division, the Canadian division. You know, we're one team. We are, hence why we call ourselves the team that brings it together. So for me, making that difference around the world, and why we need that, we need it for sanity. We need it for our children's generation to realize that the avenue in which we're going, everybody needs to start reading the same chapter, the same book on the same page, you know?
I love it. I love that you're fostering, I love your energy around fostering one team and fostering collaboration and connection, and you know, it's a real tribute to the success that you are achieving both on the global scale and on the local side. Chiara, I want to leave you with this last question. It's a question that I've been wanting to ask you since the first time I had the privilege of speaking with you, and it's a legacy question. And you know, I want you to share, what do you want your family to say about you? How did Chiara live her life?
Ooh, that's a difficult question. I think it's really only one word. It's unity. You know, I want people to remember me by that I was always an individual that was always trying to achieve unity, whether it was within who I am as an individual or what I tried to do as a parent, or a success level. For me, success isn't based on materialism. It's based on, you know, what you leave behind, what your success is. It's your legacy. It's the unity of what you've brought together, and you know, with that word, of course, comes a lot of other inspirational words like love, mentoring, honesty, and devotion, dedication. But really, it comes down to unity, and I believe that unity has to be taught from generation to generation, and I believe that we need to focus, when we want to achieve unity, we need to focus on all aspects, whether it's a negative aspect, a positive aspect, and you work through your struggles and you learn to unite within, and then the individuals and people around you just seem to follow.
I absolutely love it. Chiara-Megna, founder, VP of Bayshore Groups in St. Catharines. This is an inspiring profile that I'm focused on calling Fostering Collaboration and Unity. I love that it's on pages 40 and 41 of Defyeneurs, Difference Makers. On behalf of everyone just worldwide that is part of Difference Makers, Chiara, and just everyday people doing extraordinary things worldwide, thank you for being a part of this energy and sharing your beautiful gifts with the world.
I thank you too very much, Gary. It's a wonderful thing that you're doing.